Do you know that there is a science behind procrastination? That's right. There's a reason why every single one of us, myself included, we feel like putting things off. There is a science behind this, and we're going to discuss in this video. If you are feeling like you're always putting things off, if you feel like you never get things done, if you feel like procrastination is your best friend, then this video is for you, because we are going to discuss why you're feeling like. We're going to discuss the science behind procrastination, and not only that, we are also going to give you 3 actionable steps. That's right, 3 actionable steps that you can take this very moment that can reduce the procrastination behavior in your life. In fact, these 3 actionable steps that I'm going to give to you today for free has helped me overcome so many procrastination behavior. And I believe that if this could work for me, then it can work for you too. Imagine this. You've come to the end of a road and in front of you lies 2 paths. One path leads to new opportunities, new achievements, your desired lifestyle and success. But there's one condition. In order to achieve these things, you have to take that road immediately. And another thing as well, whilst you're taking this road, you will face some hardship, but there is a guarantee that you will achieve those things that I've just mentioned. Whilst on the other path, promise you the exact same thing, but there is one condition. It offers you a sort of comfortability. In fact, it allows you to turn your back and go back home and then come back to take the same road the following day. The only thing is that when you come back the following day, you have a 50% chance of actually achieving the things that I just mentioned. So which one would you take? I mean, it's quite easy for us to take the easier route, the one with less hardship, the one that has the 50% chance. At least we know we have a 50% chance of achieving the things that we want. And it's easier for us to always go back and think about it and tell ourselves we'll handle it or we'll do it tomorrow. Well, on that note, I want to cast your mind to one of the most unforgettable moments in movie history. I believe this is one of the most iconic moments in Hollywood history when we are discussing overcoming procrastination. And this can be found in the 3rd installment of the Rocky series. And what movie am I talking about? In fact, I'm talking about a particular scene in the 3rd installments in the Rocky series. You see, in the 3rd movie, Rocky's coach says 4 of the most important words I strongly believe when it comes to overcoming procrastination. Rocky coach looks at him and say, "There is no tomorrow." In other words, Rocky's coach was letting Rocky know that we only have this moment. We only have this opportunity now to train. And you're talking about tomorrow. Where does this attitude come from? In fact, you need to understand that Rocky was trying to procrastinate there. He didn't feel like sparring with his coach, giving his coach an excuse and telling his coach that we'll do this tomorrow. And his coach realized that there is something going on with Rocky right now. And if he doesn't tell him that there is no such thing as tomorrow, Rocky will come to the training session tomorrow with the same attitude. You see, this concept of we'll do it tomorrow is something that really needs to be addressed, because when you study the early philosophers, the Greek philosophers, they always talk about emphasis of today, making the most out of today. When you look at the biblical reference, it talks about take no thoughts of what you shall eat or drink for tomorrow, because tomorrow has its own worry. There is a reason why it is important for every individual to focus right now, this moment, on whatever they're doing. But you see, just like Rocky, I believe there's a bit of Rocky in all of us. How many times do we feel like not really doing the tasks that we've set ourselves to do? How many times do we not really feel like following through to the things that we say we're going to do? There's so many times we've had this feeling. Why do we procrastinate? Well, we need to understand that there is a science behind our procrastination behavior. In fact, it has to do with our brain. You see, our brain is made out of different parts. There is a part of our brain called the prefrontal cortex. And this part of our brain focuses on long-term goals, long-term plans, and it allows us to achieve these things. But there is also another part in our brain that really combats with this prefrontal cortex, and that part of the brain is called the limbic system. The limbic system deals with immediate pleasure. It wants to be rewarded straight away. In fact, that part of our brain always prevents us from being in a position of feeling uncomfortable. The moment we feel a bit uncomfortable, we feel a bit of hardship, that part of our brain wires that no, we have to escape. And this is the reason why sometimes when you set a task ahead of you, when you say to yourself that you're going to complete this task, that part of the brain is having that internal conflict with the prefrontal cortex, where prefrontal cortex is thinking about the long-term goals, the long-term plans, like the example at the beginning is thinking about that road. We must take that road now and we must act. Where the other part of our brain, the limbic system, is thinking, no, it's too hard. We can do this later. This is not an immediate pleasure. You're not going to get an immediate gratification from doing this. So our internal conflict battle is happening constantly in our brain. But now that you know the scientific behind why we sometimes procrastinate, it is very important today to understand that we can minimize our procrastination behavior by these 3 actionable steps that I'm about to share with you in this video. In fact, I'm telling you, if you stick to the end of this video, by the end of the video, any type of procrastination that you may have will begin to diminish and begin to vanish in the background. So let's dive into the 3 steps. Step 1, embrace the power of public accountability. Now, what do we mean by this? What I mean is, one of the most effective ways to beat procrastination is by making your goals public. Now, this may not be what you expected me to say, or it might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but stay with me. Let me explain. When I say making a public announcement or making a public declaration, I'm not saying that you should go outside there with a megaphone and scream on top of your lungs and say, hey, I'm going to be the next multimillionaire. I'm going to be the next billionaire, or I'm going to be the biggest entrepreneur that's out there. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it is important for us to have someone who holds us accountable for the things that we say we want to achieve in our life, or the things or the tasks that we set ahead of us. Making a public announcement gives us that sort of responsibility to act. You see, when you announce your intention to others, you create a powerful sense of responsibility. When I say make a public announcement, I mean take a page from one of the legendary boxers of all time, Muhammad Ali. You see, he didn't train in silence. He constantly reminded the world that he's going to be the greatest boxer that ever existed, that ever lived. This man never trained in silence. And I believe that there's going to be times where Mr. Muhammad Ali would feel that sense of procrastination, that limbic system would kick in. And I believe when it kicks in, he remembers the things that he said. Oh, I just left the live TV station. I just left the live radio station. And I just confessed to everyone in the world that I'm going to be the greatest. I can't afford to be lazy. I can't afford not to be procrastinating on my goals. I need to go out and train. In fact, I read somewhere that the man said that he hated running every single morning, but he loved being a champion. You see, when you give yourself that responsibility and tell yourself, listen, I've made a public announcement. I cannot afford to not follow through. And like I said, I want to put it out there. I'm not saying that you should go out there and make it be known to everybody, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. What I'm saying is find someone that you can trust, a mentor, a friend, a family member, somebody that you can tell them, hey, hold me accountable. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this amount of money by the end of this year. I'm going to finish my assignments. I'm going to write 5 songs every single week. I'm going to upload a new YouTube video every single week. Get someone that holds you accountable. Make a public announcement to one of them. And if you're brave enough, if you feel like you want to make a public announcement to your social media people, you can do that. It's entirely up to you. I want to give you an example. I recently started a 5 kilometers run, and a challenge was for 21 days. And I made this a public announcement to my social media followers that, listen guys, for the next 21 days, I'm going to commit myself to 5-kilometer runs. And the reason why I'm doing this is to build self-discipline and to start running again. Now, there was times where my limbic system would kick in. There was times where I felt like, no, I don't want to do this. But then I remember that I've made a public announcement. And I remember when I post day 1 completed, day 3, day 5 completed, people are commenting and saying, keep going, Rudolph, you're inspiring me. And every time I think about those words, I'm like, I can't afford not to do it now because I've made a public announcement. So I have to stick through this decision. And this is what making a public announcement can do for you. And like I said, I just want to put it out there. You have to be careful what you put out there. Of course, I'm not saying like you should share everything, not make an early announcement when it's not time to make an announcement. There's certain things that you can put out there, that ain't gonna harm you or anything like that. Or there's certain things that you can tell a close friend, a mentor, or a family member that can really hold you accountable for taking the right action. So the very first thing is we have to embrace making this public announcement to the people we trust and let them know, like, listen, I'm going to partake in this and I need you to hold me accountable. I cannot afford to procrastinate. So that's the very first step. The second step is leverage the power of micro commitment. And what do we mean by what I simply mean is that it's important for us to break down the big goals into smaller steps. So whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to do, maybe it's just you're trying to complete your assignment for university. Maybe you're just trying to complete this business proposal or the business plan. Maybe you're trying to complete your album, you're a musician. Maybe you're just reading through your lines as an actor. There's something that you need to understand, that it's important to break those big goals into micro commitment, meaning that you commit yourself to something small that contributes to the big picture. There's a great author called Stephen King, and he said he never wrote a novel in one sitting. What he did is every single day he was working on a few pages a day, and eventually he found out that at the end of the year he's written a lot of books. He said he will find that at the end of the year that he's now got 2 or 3 different books ready to release, and all he did was commit to writing a few pages every day. You see, the small steps really matters. The small steps will get you to your big goals. Sometimes it's very important for us to look at a big goal, but then think about, what can I do today that will contribute to that big goal? Let me commit to something small. So if you are an entrepreneur, think about it right now. What can I do right now? Can I do 5 cold approaches? Can I talk to 5 different new clients every single day? Is that something I can do? Is that a micro commitment I can commit to? If I'm a songwriter, can I commit just to writing 1 verse a day at least? You know, if I'm an author very similar to Stephen King, can I write just 1 chapter a day? Just commit to something very small that contributes to the overall goal. That's the most important thing, because it's all about breaking the habits. The more you do the little things and you constantly put away procrastination, you are building new habits to getting things done. And that's why it's so important to leverage the power of micro commitment. So the third step is a very important step. The third step is reframe your mindset with visualization. This is a very important step, guys. In fact, for me, it's one of the most important steps in all 3 of them. Because let me tell you why. Before you start a task, it's very important to visualize the end goal. So for example, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner and you're getting stuck with writing that business plan and you're feeling that procrastination behavior creeping and you can't finish that business plan, I want you to close your eyes and visualize how it feels to have your own business. I want you to think about how it feels to open up your shop. I want you to close your eyes and think about how it feels to get your products or your service to your client. If you're a musician, I want you to think about how it feels to get your music out there, to have a hard copy if you have your album completed. If you're an author, I want you to think and visualize when you're getting stuck on this particular chapter and you're feeling like to procrastinate. I want you to think about how it feels to hold a hard copy of your book in your hand. You see, these things are very important. Visualization will destroy procrastination so quickly. Even myself in my own life, there's sometimes I feel very lazy. I feel like I'm not ready to do a video, but then I visualize myself thinking, Rudolph, you said you're going to inspire the people. You're going to inspire them to achieve their purpose, to release their potential and achieve personal fulfillment, because this is what this channel is about the 3 P's: purpose, potential, and personal fulfillment. How can you help people achieve this if you are feeling lazy? How can you help people achieve this if you're feeling like procrastination is creeping in? So it's important for us to really visualize the end goal. Every time you say, no, I'm not going to commit to this, you don't know, you might be pushing your goal all the way back. Just like at the beginning of the video, when we gave the examples of the 2 roads. One road told you that you can go back home, but there's a 50% chance that when you come back, you may not achieve the thing. Whilst the other road gave you the certainty that you will achieve those things, but you will face some hardship. So I want you to constantly visualize your end goal. What would it be like if I achieve the things that I want to achieve? So guys, as we normally do on this channel, is we want to leave you with practical steps. You see, we've touched on very important things. We touched on the science behind procrastination. So now you know that everybody goes through this thing. It's not just you. You're not an alien on anything. All of us go through this thing. There's a science behind it. But now we have 3 actionable steps that we can take. But for today's practical steps, I've given you 3 actionable steps, but I want us to focus on the 3rd step, the visualization part, for the next 21 days. And why 21 days? Like I always say in our videos, 21 days is the magic number. It takes about 21 days to create a new habit and to end the old habit. In my life, I've committed to so many 21 days that now some of the 21 days it's become part of my lifestyle. And that's the aim, that you do it long enough that it becomes part of your lifestyle and that it is no longer a challenge. So for now, for the next 21 days, I want you to, every time you're committing yourself to something, whether it's doing a task, whether you're finishing that university assignment, that business plan, whether it's writing that song, whether it's going to that meeting, whatever it might be, whenever procrastination kicks in, it might be something as simple as going to the gym. I want you to visualize that gym body that you want, that body that you're looking after, that business that you're after, that album that you're trying to create, that book you're trying to write, that dissertation that you're trying to complete, that PhD degree that you're trying to achieve. I want you to continuously visualize. Anytime, anywhere procrastination kicks in, just close your eyes like this and just visualize. It could be for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and think about what the end goal would be like. Guys, if you you've enjoyed this video and you felt really inspired and motivated by this video, guys, it's very important for you to do the next step to help me to continue to produce videos like this for you. Your help goes a long way. The thing that you can do for me now is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you've subscribed already, it's important for you to hit the notification button. Why? Because when you hit that notification button, every time I release a new video, you'll be the first to see it. And it's important for you to like, comment, and comment on the video, because sometimes individuals might miss certain points that I've said in this video, and your comment can help them to really remind them of some of the things that I said in the video. And it's very important for you to share this video with someone who you really care about, or someone who you believe this could really help them. My name is Rudolph High Definition. Thank you for watching. Be inspired today.